Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of the PokerStars.com Masters here at Wembley. A cracking match in prospect for you now. 2 players waiting backstage of the very highest caliber, and they are sure to put on a superb show. Introducing, first of all, the most successful snooker player in history, making his 22nd appearance here at the Masters with a record 6 titles. 7 times a champion of the world. That's why they call him the King of the Crucible, Stephen Hendry. And his opponent, making his 6th appearance here at the Masters. He's a class act on and off the bays. The 2005 World Champion, the 2008 UK Champion. He's the pride of Earthlingborough. He's Shaun the Magician Murphy.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first set, Shaun Murphy to bet.
Well, that's true, that, Hazel. Thank you very much. Yeah, that old romantic thing called love. Well, I don't think there'll be a lot of love lost between these 2 players. Stephen Hendry used to be the king of Wembley and the Masters, and this is going to be a very interesting match. And I think a lot will depend, Willie, on how Stephen Hendry starts the match.
Couldn't agree with you more, John, and this is one of the things that has been missing from Stephen Hendry, his long game. Obviously you would expect when he gets in the balls he's still going to be as good as most, but you know, he's not been potting too many of those, and years ago he didn't miss too many of those, and that's been the only difference with Stephen Hendry of late to what he was years ago. In the balls he's still as good as anybody, but his long game has suddenly become very poor.
Yeah, and conversely, this is the strength of Shaun Murphy normally, these sort of mid-range pots. And they're the ones that get you in.
1.
Anything missing from Shaun's game, John, in your opinion?
Just sometimes I just wonder about his safety play and probably a little bit of shot selection. I think if he gets himself in a little bit of bother caused by his opponent with a good safety, he may opt to try and pot his way out of trouble rather than try and find a good safety return. Nothing wrong with that, of course, the way he pots, but it's a fine line.
5.
The shot selection, as I say, but good long potter, good when he's in these positions.
I've got to admit, I spent quite a bit of time with Shaun on the practice table and watching him break build and things, and he does precious little wrong in the balls. So he's got every shot, and you know the reason I asked John the question was that obviously you know, I think he's one of the top 2 or 3 players in the world, and trying to work out why he doesn't win as often as he should.
13.
I mean, the standard of play at the minute is absolutely superb. I think we're blessed at the moment with 8, 9, 10 players that can win any tournament.
14.
But this is got the makings of a classic, this match.
$21. 22. $29. $30.
Trying to come on and off the cushion, which he has done just. He could have done with another 2 inches of pace, because he'd like to play the cannon now into these reds, but the angle he has and the proximity of the white to the cushion means he'd be digging down on it a little bit. He'd like to play for a loose red because of where the cue ball is compared to the cushion. Let's just see if he'll play into them. See, he's having to cue really down on this to get into this cue ball. Oh, hit that lovely. Good shot. Perhaps too well, just overscrewed it by 6 inches.
37.
And when you're cueing down like that, you see you get right into the cue ball. The angle he's got on this, unless you can screw across the face of the black, he might be better off playing for blue or bought colour here. Just to roll it in, it will go near the left hand side cushion. The roll is played. See how the white's just going towards that cushion? It's held up enough though. Well, the way he's played that, either the red just to the right of the pink will pass, or there's a plant somewhere.
45.
Well, it does pass there, you see it? Is this the last of the loose reds, I ask myself?
46.
The angle he's got on the blue, he may have to go around 2 cushions rather than 1.
Yeah, he stayed down on the shot. He wasn't happy with the angle on the blue. Well, he's playing a stun. He just wants to be left of the pink as we look. And that's worked out nicely. No problem. Every chance now. As long as he missed the pink. He didn't want to kiss the pink. That would have taken the pace out of the cue ball, but he played it perfectly. And this is a good chance. And this is the standard we talk about, of course. That just make one mistake and you can be sat in your chair for the rest of the frame.
52.
And this was a mistake. We were halfway through explaining that Stephen's Achilles heel has been his long game when he played this shot, and there you see again, hit it too thick. And that's the only thing that's missing in his game. His temperament is still top draw. His break building goes without saying. Is the best ever. And how did he get through that gap, by the way? Look at the picture on your screen there. And he's just coming to have a look there and thinking, well, how's that gone through there? Paul Daniels could have got that shot.
It's unbelievable. And look where he got the arc and then he run up there. Yeah, I think Paul Daniels would have been proud of that. It's magic.
Yes, his nickname is the Magician, isn't he? But that's one of the times where he didn't want to play something as good. But it's a sizable lead, 59. Needs a good safety.
Shaun Murphy, 59.
So it looked for all money. He was going to win the frame at one visit. He hasn't.
The problem is, for Stephen, he had to get that safe, and I think, well, maybe the brown has just come to his rescue. I didn't think it had, but you can see it has. There's the shadow, telling you the balls that are covered, in this case by the brown. Now, can Shaun get it safe? No, he can't. Now, this is a tester. This is the ones you're talking about, Willie, that Stephen was, well, success rate on these was very, very high. He needs to knock this one in if he's going to get back in this frame.
This is mainly the just off straight ones when he's got to virtually hold the cue ball he struggles with. That kind of shot when he's letting the white run loose a little bit, he's still not too bad at those, as we saw there.
I think it's the almost straight ones, isn't he? Just slightly, either it's across the ball or just puts a little bit of unintentional side. Easily done, particularly on these super fine cloths, but he's got a chance here.
And this was a player, along with probably Steve Davis in the 80s, that when you were 60 in front and there was enough on to win, you felt they were going to clear up on you because that's how good they are. Just trying to find an obstacle. I suppose green to brown is one of the major ones. The red's near enough the pocket, even if he has to use the rest. The one on the left hand side cushion is not going to be a real problem. So at this moment in time, albeit he's 42 points behind, he's virtually favourite to win this frame. That's a little bit careless. To be perfect, 24. He needs to screw back for the blue or pink. Black's no good from here. Yeah, that wasn't the bad shot. It was the positional shot from black to that red.
Stephen Hendry, 24.
And as we see so many times, when you play that shot with pace just off the cushion, you've got to be so accurate. Well, Shaun having a look at these two reds to the left of the pink, we're just watching that positional shot. I'd assume that if one of those reds potted by the left of the pink, Stephen would have played for one of them. So I'll be surprised if one of those reds goes. Obviously the left one doesn't. He's wondering, can he hit enough of the right hand side one?
Well, looking at the picture we just showed you, John, it probably looked like the top one does pot. I think it does. But it's risky.
This is Hawkeye's view, and Hawkeye says he can't pot it, and if Hawkeye says he can't pot it, because that boy can pot anything.
Well, one thing for certain, Stephen Hendry didn't play the safety shot that way to put the red safe. He probably played the cannon into the two reds and misjudged it, and obviously the white behind the green is what he played. So a long way short with that. Shaun would be reluctant to move the red off the cushion, but he doesn't have any choice. He may even get the cross double here. Keep an eye on the red, it's going to go very close to the right hand corner. Not close enough though. But a good safety shot.
Stephen's got to catch this red just right here. Needs that cue ball back near that baulk cushion. This looks pretty good if he can miss the brow. He's gonna leave the red on. I didn't see the red. Will the green come to his rescue? It has. It has. this red would be an almost certain pot for Shaun if he wasn't hampered by the green.
Well, he'll take it on if the two reds are on the top cushion, not a plant, because see how hampered he is there with the pitch from Hawkeye there. He's going to have to cue very, very plain ball here, any sort of unintentional side, and this will be missed. The white's going to be travelling in towards red and pink, but you're just going to hope for a bit of luck should you pot it. That's good cueing. That's very good cueing. 36 points in front. One more red and colour. Cued that well.
Well, would you
Shaun
believe
Murphy
it?
won.
After such a good pot on the red, he's missed the yellow. Cue ball's being clean, but well, it sounded a little bit heavy. Maybe that did cause the yellow to go off line. Well, Stephen's still in with a chance here.
1.
Now, perfect on the black to cannon the two reds. You'd want to catch the left-hand side one, sort of half ballish to nudge the other one towards the corner. Well, he'll settle for that. That's not exactly as he would have played it, I don't think, but
8.
he'll settle for it. That was a good shot. And it's, well, he'll need a good shot now from colour to yellow. That is the thing you'd need. And normally in these circumstances, I'd suggest playing up for the blue or even the brown to make it easier to get on the yellow. Where he's finished on this red, I don't think that is an option. He may have to play for the black.
70.
And he has to. So, it's imperative now that he can try and get a good position somewhere in that circle might be nice. Well, he decided to cut out the danger of being snookered by the brown, but I wouldn't like to have
24.
finished that close to the cushion personally.
Miss hit, wasn't it? Completely miss hit that shot. Needed to get his hand on the table so he can stun it. He can't stun it from where he is. He's probably going to have to play just the roll through for the green in the left-hand corner, which he didn't want to do.
26.
Oh, this is nasty. If you get it, you win. If you don't, you lose.
Well, I don't know whether I'd be tempted to take this on, but we know Stephen's a very brave player, tremendous potter, goes without saying, but this is tough. This is tough. He had to be
Stephen
so
Hendry,
accurate.
26.
And he gave it every chance, fair play to him, to go in the pocket. He didn't overhit it, but just caught that near jaw, and it was never going to go in after that.
It was the black though, John, wasn't it? Terrible black to yellow.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I was surprised, really, that he didn't try to get on the last red so he could play up for the blue. As I said at the time, if he could have played up for blue or brown, it would have been a lot easier to get on the yellow. And in the end, as you say, he just underhit it badly. That was all that
3.
really was the problem, just controlling the cue ball so he'd be nicely on the brown, and just brown and blue needed. So a keenly fought first frame, but it looks like Shaun Murphy's going to win it in the end.
7. 12.
16. So in goes the pink.
First frame.
Doesn't need the black. Stephen Hendry had chances, a couple of chances to get back in that frame after the 59 break from Shaun Murphy, but it was Shaun Murphy in the end who took it. He leads 1-0.
Thank you. The second frame. Stephen Hendry to break.
One of the most embarrassing things, I only wish I hadn't said it, the two guys from the Army Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, the two guys who do the I forget the program they use, the interior design program. I went up to him and I said, look, hi, my name's Willie Thorne, thanks for looking after Jimmy in the jungle, just to be polite. And he said, what did you say, Billy Thorne? As if they didn't know who the great WT was. What's happening?
Well, it's as I've always said, Billy no mates. Well, he played it confidently, but just didn't have the angle, the potting angle to hold the cue ball this side of the baulk line to be nicely on the baulk colour, so just a little trickle up behind the brown. Now normally you look at this situation and think, well, this is easy, come off the side cushion, plenty of reds to hit, but there's reds available on both sides of the table here, so Stephen's got to be very, very careful. He could easily leave a red on here. We know the normal line. I think he's just got to run past that red that's just to the left of the pink. If he kisses it, he leaves something on, and that's what he's done. It was not straightforward, that. Well, he may just have to play a little bit of left-hand side just to turn the white slightly. I don't know that he can just get to it plain ball, but a little bit of left-hand side will help anyway. Well, he couldn't have hit that much better, and he's going to be a little bit unlucky if he's not on anything easy, and at first glance it doesn't appear as though he is.
Shaun Murphy, 6.
Not a bad safety shot. He just wanted to get in a little bit deeper maybe and get the yellow to cover this red to the left corner. If this red on the left hand side of the table isn't straight, you'd fancy Stephen taking it on. Has he got a slight angle? He has. Good cueing required. And good cueing got. That was an excellent shot from Stephen. So, the first good chance goes to Stephen Hendry in this second frame.
Four. 5.
Of course, we talk about horses for courses, Willie. 6 times a winner here, of course. And the first 4 times he ever played in the Masters, Stephen, he won it. Well enough, I'm just looking at the records. He beat John Parrott 3 times in the final.
Wasn't difficult. Thing is though, he's not ever won at this venue. It's always been at the conference centre, John. So horses for courses, but different venue, even though it's Wembley.
Different course then.
Exactly.
12. 13.
We mentioned earlier in the very opening part of this match how good Stephen Hendry is in the balls, and this is a position where you just feel he would normally win the frame at this visit even now. Goes without saying, nowhere near the player he was, but undoubtedly the greatest of all time so far. I remember commentating on Junior Pot Black, John, years ago when he first was a 12, 13-year-old lad and played on Junior Pot Black, and I said, well, he's going to have to change his action a little bit to be any good. Shows you what a good judge I am.
21.
Yeah, and you've not changed over the years, have you? Being a judge, that way, I mean. The one thing about Stephen, even through all his trials and tribulations over the last few years, he always looks comfortable to me when he's at the table. I know he doesn't pot the balls like he used to, or consistent
26.
as he used to. But it's every credit to him. He's great confidence in his ability to come out.
27.
As we saw last night with Jimmy White. Jimmy always looked edgy and never really got that cue arm going. You could never say that with Stephen. But he could have played that better. He needed to get that red to bounce a little bit more off the top cushion than it did.
And it's not a natural to get on the pink, because plain ball, as we see this shot bounce on and off the cushion, plain ball, he'll kiss into the 2 reds. Now, that's not a bad clue, actually, because he'll be on the pink in the middle. Well, you see, he tried to pinch a bit to miss the
35.
cannon. He'd have been a lot better just playing the cannon and leaving the pink in the middle. I think he's played just by that, the pace he's played it.
I'll tell you what, he's lucky the red went in. I think any more pace and it wouldn't have done. In fact, I think the way the pockets were playing at the UK in Telford, I don't think that red would have gone in, to be perfectly honest with you. It seemed at Telford that anything that caught the near jaw wasn't going to drop. The templates are the same. That's the official templates that they use on these tables, the tables fitters. But just shows you, I don't know whether it's different conditions, just make the pocket play slightly easier. Anyway, the red went in, and he's in perfect position to do what you say, will it? Win the frame at this visit. You'd be surprised if he didn't do it now.
51.
And they look to be both cueing beautifully, don't they? Shaun Murphy's 59 in the first was only come to an end because of a little bit of unlucky. He was trying to go into the bunch, but Stephen Hendry, one chance. He's got the chance to do the same. If he gets on a red here, it should be all over. But has he got on one? Only just.
Yes, it could have gone wrong, that.
68.
It's okay. The kiss worked out in his favour.
59. $66. $67.
Amazing enough, John, even though we've had 4 matches so far.
73.
We haven't had a century yet.
74.
When's the last time that happened? 4 matches without a century. Haven't seen the table and the way it's playing. I think you'll need a 140 or above this week to win the high break prize.
$80. $81.
Well, if there's any man you can rely on for a safe century in this
87.
sort of position, and that's Stephen. It's great storing the centuries and the fact that he's
88.
the leading century maker in the game of all time, and every time someone looks as though he's closing, i.e. like a Ronnie O'Sullivan or John Higgins, he just slips in another few.
740, John, competitive
94.
centuries so far. Unbelievable. A lot of pros in
90.
practice wouldn't have made 740 centuries, never mind about in tournaments. He's lost his ability in some departments. Break building is one he may never lose. Another top draw century from Stephen Hendry, 7-4-1 in tournament play.
$108.
He fancied it to be a very, very good match. It started absolutely perfectly. Both players looked to be in great form.
114 in the frame.
Not bothered with trying to get the black as well, but the break of 114 was flawless. Shaun Murphy won the first, Stephen Hendry won the second, and we're all square at 1-all. I mentioned, John, that something that's missing from Stephen has been his long game, but you know, every now and again you're going to knock one in, and he had to knock one in the opening shot of that break.
Yes, absolutely. Shaun played a a decent safety shot, but he was trying to get in behind the yellow. He knew this was the danger red, the one on the left-hand side of the table. And Stephen came down, had a look, and as you can see, it's just off straight. So that means you can play plain ball with an air of not a shot for nothing, but at least you don't have to do a lot to get position on the colour. And that's exactly what he did. He got down. He didn't pot it clean, it has to be said. It just caught the left-hand jaw, but close enough. And of course, once it got past that red, he was nicely on a choice of blue or bought colour. And then, of course, as he so often does, made the most of it. And I would think that Shaun Murphy would be a little bit, well, you'd expect things like that from Stephen Hendry, but I think he'll think to himself, I'll have to sharpen up my safety game if that's the type of form he's in.
Got to find the top cushion, haven't
Shaun
you,
Murphy
against Stephen Hendry at the moment. So frame 3 getting underway. Shaun Murphy breaking off in what promises now to be a classic Masters match.
Yeah, terrific pot. As we were saying, Shaun needs to find the bought cushion, but so does Stephen. Probably more so than Shaun, in all honesty. That was a real good pot.
Three. Four.
Didn't quite get into the cue ball as he would like there. He'd like to have been a lot further down for this black, purely because it would have been so easy then to get on the red to the right of the black. It's not that easy anymore. If he plays it plain ball, he'll just cannon into the red, but he needs to play it slowly to get that cannon. Can't afford to play it pacey. Played it slowly. Oh, it's gone wide. See, once again, that wasn't the bad shot. It was the positional shot to get on the black. He should have never left that angle.
Yeah, it's played in the top corner. I think he can hit this black thin enough to play with a lot of pace and go into that cluster of reds here. That's what he's done. You always need a bit of luck. Now, is he on this red to the right corner when the black tree's spotted? If not, there is a choice of reds into the right middle. He can just get through to this one, as we can clearly see. He won't be playing for the black, he'll be going up for pink or blue. That sounded like a heavy contact to me. And it's come, amazingly enough, twixt in between.
That's about the only place where the pot is not a certainty to finish there, isn't it? 2 inches to the right is on the straight blue, 2 inches left on the straight pink, harder is on both of them in the middle. It's just right, as you say, betwixt and between.
And with the red spread like this, a little bit of pressure on this, it's into a blind pocket. But it's right in the heart of it. Good shot. Looks very confident. Does Stephen this afternoon?
14. $15.
By the way he finished frame 2 off, it's hard to see how he's going to miss before he gets over the winning line in this frame here. I suppose the red to the right of the black is going to cause a problem until he gets rid of it. Just going to get onto the black really in one pocket. That's why he's playing up for the blue at the moment. As long as he goes top side, there's no problem.
Just about got a slight angle. He could have done with another inch, but he can just about squeeze an angle out of that one. Wanted to play for a red in the corner. I think he'll have to settle for one to the left middle. Just got a little bit more work to do with the cue ball. Not a lot, but just has to play it probably with a tracer side to get nicely on the black. Well, he didn't. He played it plain ball, so not as close to this black as he would have liked. Don't expect him to miss it, but he would have liked it a little bit easier than this. Well, this is rolling back the years for me. Superb break in the last frame, and he's just stroking them in. Calm as you like.
.43. 44. 51. 52. 59.
Nicely on this red. Just this red and the colour needed, that's all.
60.
Good standard of snooker. That's the applause, tells you that the frame is over now.
67.
Shaun Murphy. First in, has to be said, probably a good long red. Poor positional shot.
58.
It caused him to miss the black, and in less than 40 minutes we're going to see the end of the third frame.
And you saw the drop of the shoulders there. He's so annoyed that he wants to get another century.
Of course he does. He wants to pot every ball on the table. And there's still a chance of getting that second century. Wonderfully played. Doesn't need to catch that red, no, he's played it perfectly.
79.
Ah, what a pity.
79.
What a pity, but it doesn't matter. Shaun Murphy, Mr. Black off the spot, and that was it for him. Stayed in his seat. Stephen Hendry now leads by 2 frames to 1.
Thank you. The fourth frame, Stephen Hendry to Britain.
Yes, looked very sharp indeed, hasn't he, in the opening 3 frames. Even in the game he lost the opening frame, he got in the balls with a chance to win it. So Shaun's done very little wrong. One bad safety shot, one bad positional shot, and he's 2-1 behind. And that's another bad safety. Very, very fortunate kiss. Held his hand up to explain that. First to 6 goes through to the quarters. Stephen looks like he's decided to get there. Years ago, you just fancy him, either one of these 2 reds, one to the right of the blue, one to the left of the blue. You just knew that he was going to take it on, and 9 times out of 10 he would have potted it. That 9 out of 10 has now become about 6 or 7. Make that 4 or 5 today.
But at least he played it in such a way that he felt the only red he could leave was the one he was playing, but got it much too thick, which just gives you the feeling that he maybe put a little bit of unintentional right hand side that pushed the cue ball into the red. That's why he called it too thick. That's another poor safety shot there from Shaun Murphy. I'm not saying Stephen is likely to pot this, but if he doesn't play the pot, he'll play a lot better safety shot than that, I'm sure.
I think it's something that amateurs do a lot when they're playing a pot in the right hand pocket. They favour playing with the right hand side. If they play a pocket in the left hand pocket, they favour playing with the left hand side. I think Stephen's doing that without knowing he's doing it at the moment on his long game. Just not finding the centre of the white on the long pots. As ever, doesn't turn a chance down to try and pot any ball that's potable. He thought that was in, he stayed down on the shot a long time. Not very often you can play a bad safety shot that can force an opening, but that's the equation this time. Shaun played a terrible safety, and I haven't seen Stephen miss the pot. He's got the first real chance.
A little bit surprising. I thought he may be able to pot that red. He played safe off there, but didn't feel as though the risk playing the pot, he was guaranteed to be on the colour, so that's why he didn't play it. Stephen's got to catch this just right here. Doesn't want to catch this red too thick, and he has done. In fact, so thick he may have got away with it. The rattle in the jaws of the cue ball has left it near his top cushion, so it's reasonably safe. Lucky.
It's amazing, isn't it? You can just make breaks of 114 and 79, hit the ball perfectly. All of a sudden you play a safety shot and catch it miles too thin. Never been the greatest asset of Stephen, John, has it, safety?
Well, it was always a second thought when he came to the table, wasn't it? His first thought was to look for a pot. Anyway, there's a bit of pressure on this for Shaun. This is no gimme. He's knocked it in nicely, but is he on the green? In a fashion, but he's not good on the green.
I'm not too sure whether he can miss the kiss on the yellow if he plays the green. He's looking at the long brown because of that. 100% long pot success rate. He's got to hope that stat same's the same after this one, because it could be very costly if it's not. He's cueing beautifully. What a match we've had so far, John. I don't think you've seen a bad shot.
No, it's been excellent snooker, and that was a very brave shot, that, from Shaun Murphy. A sign of a man who's full of confidence, that was.
Six. $11.
Well, I can only presume he miscued there, because he's actually hit that nearly half ball. I wonder whether we can detect it when we have a look at it for the second time. Well, I think he just played with right hand side and should push straight into it. I don't think it was a miscue, just bad cueing. Unusual with the rest, John, isn't it, to push them in that much?
Yeah, but as we see, you know, he's potted some terrific long balls, and we were saying how confident he is, and then you say, well, how can he miss an easy one like that? It's because he was trying to get position on a colour, and that's why a lot of pots are missed. He's just trying to manoeuvre the cue ball. And he left the plant, but he needs a good kiss on the yellow, otherwise he'll be on nothing.
One.
Had to be made, in all fairness. But going back to that shot of Shaun Murphy, as I say, and that's why we say, if it's a straightforward pot, you've got a nice angle, then you don't have to do anything with the cue ball. But as soon as you try and manipulate or manoeuvre the cue ball, then that's when easy pots can be missed.
Stephen Hendry, 1.
Well, there's plenty of reds here to hit, and I'm not certain which one he's decided. I don't know whether he's trying to hit the one that's near the green, unless he's trying to get down at this end. That's a big ass with all the balls to avoid.
Foul.
Blue was one of them, obviously.
Stephen Hendry, 5.
Well, Stephen may have this replaced. I can't see an easy starter for him.
Yeah.
I'd draw a line, but unfortunately, I'm not certain how close he is to the yellow. We know the way he went there. That's not going to be any good because the blue. And if he'd have just missed the blue, I don't think he'd have been hitting the red. I think.
Yeah, Stephen.
Just looking at the line he was aiming at, if he was trying to get this line, well, as I say, it all depends on how close he is to the yellow. He's looking to see if he can get past the blue, but I'm not certain if he goes that way whether he'll get close enough to the reds. When it comes past the blue, it'll just slide, and I think this is why he's playing an alternative way out, but believe me, he'll be very lucky not to leave a red on here. I'll tell you what, he's done pretty good. He's done pretty well. Eh? Who's this fellow Houdini?
He is called the Magician, but that was a little fortunate because he's played to hit the left-hand side of the reds near the pink, not the right-hand side of them.
Houdini, if you dare. It's unbelievable, wasn't it? And it wasn't even an hit and halt, was it? He played it the dead weight. You deserve a bit of luck sometimes.
Might be trying to squeeze him behind the yellow again, but he's got to be careful of the in-off if he plays this, so he's okay.
Be careful, he doesn't knock the yellow in. This red on the left-hand side of the table, I think it's too thin to be able to play the cut and get the cue ball back to the ball ken. If the potting angle was a little bit thicker, he may play it. Well, he couldn't have played that any better. Good cue ball, and striking down like that to hit it so accurately, that was a very good shot, and gives Stephen a little bit to think about here. It's a tough shot to try and get back to balk, so he's just playing the containing safety.
He'll have to move the red away that Stephen's just put safe, purely because if he plays thin off the one near the pink, that red will be on. In saying that, pink and black out of commission, I'd be tempted to leave him that long red, let him have a go at it, but you never know.
Well, I'd also be tempted to leave it there, just so that it makes it more difficult playing safe down the left-hand side of the table.
I.e. the red would have been in the way now, wouldn't it, for this safety shot?
Absolutely, and I think that's where Shaun sometimes is just a little bit lacking in his tactical nous.
Yeah, let's just have a look at the path this cue ball takes here when you consider where the red was on the left hand side, and of course this wouldn't have been on now. Look, straight into the red it would have been.
Well, there's a red just above the pink, and just above and to the left of the pink. I don't know whether he feels he can play the pot here and get the cue ball through the other balls. Well, he played the pot, he didn't get the cue ball through the other balls, but it doesn't matter, the pot went in. Although having said that, I don't see where the colour comes from unless he plays the very thin yellow. Look at that pot right in the heart of the pocket. But he was looking for a gap and didn't find it. Surely the yellow's too thin. And that's why he's deciding to play safe off the pink.
Shaun Murphy 1.
There's a interval after this frame, so it is quite a key one in the match. Stephen would love to go into that mid-session interval 3-1 in front.
I think the way the match has gone, John, I think Shaun will be delighted to get out 2-2 if he could.
It's a funny old game, isn't it? He's safety, much too thin, rattle the jaws, finish tight on the baulk cushion. And now it's a good safety. Well, has the brown come to Shaun's rescue? It has. And now Stephen with the problem. Any safety shot, he's got to cover the path to that red near the left corner. Not bad. That's not bad at all, that really. It was a difficult situation. I'm not certain if he has left a pot on for Shaun. I mean, the red is closest to the cue ball. I don't think it goes to the far right corner, and the way he's looking for a place to leave the cue ball when playing safe. There you see, nothing goes into the far right corner. So he'll be just looking for the safety and try and, well, where he's pointing now, he won't want to leave the cue unless he plays safe off the red he's closest to, which is probably his plan. Where's this cue ball going? In a nice position for Shaun Murphy, not for Stephen Hendry. Stephen's got a bit of a problem, and the last twice he's played a similar type of safety shot to this, he's caught it much too thin. Well, he's having a look at something here. No, I suppose this red is possible. He's caught every one of these much too thin. Caught that one a little bit better. Still thinner than he wanted, but I think he may have got it reasonably safe. You can just get past the blue to the red there, but there's not all the pocket to aim at, so he won't be playing that pot.
Well, the red that's nearest the pink spot will pass the red. He'll take it on. The yellow's over the pocket. Should it go in? The only thing that can go wrong here, if he misses it and catches a bought colour, it will leave a long pot on, so he wants to play the shot and obviously miss green or brown on the way back. He'll definitely take the pot on. Now, is it every one of these thin down this side? Let's see if this one's thin. Goodness me, thin. He nearly got the plenty. Is it that thin? He's struggling down that side of the table. I don't know if he's putting a little bit of right hand side. He's favouring the right hand side. What he thinks centre ball, maybe right hand side. It's just pushing away all the time. Is it everyone thin down that side of the table?
It doesn't look to have come out too bad. I don't think Shaun can. Well, you certainly can't get through direct to the red, but I'm just wondering if you can get into the side cushion and come off the side cushion to pot the red. Maybe you can. Maybe. No, he's played one onto the other, and somehow the red went in. I don't think that's exactly as he played it. In fact, I'd like to have another look at that. It was a bit of a blur. Here's the blur. That red off the cushion onto that one. Well, he didn't play it like that, I can assure you. I'm glad we had the slow motion replay when we were there, because I thought it was the draft that knocked the red in.
I suppose the key thing was he just knew that whatever sort of kiss he got on, he got every chance of knocking it in. So he took the bull by the horns and went for it, and pink and black still out of commission, so not a great chance to score heavily. Red near the pocket, he's just got to make sure he screws back far enough off the blue so he doesn't have to play any sort of cannon. He's going to have to go up for blue or bought colour again off the next red. So he needs a good angle on this red. Ideally plain ball. He's wanted playing these with a little bit of right hand side. Just looking at the angle, John, plain ball. I think he'll miss the red to the right of it, but can he miss the two reds up near the blue?
I mean, he could play the one that's more or less in the middle of the table and stun back up for the blue, rather than the one that's closest to the pocket. You always favour the one closest to the pocket because you think the pot's that much easier, but as you say, he's got to do a little bit with the cue ball, I feel. Well, in the end, trusted to luck, and I'll tell you what, he won't be too unhappy with that. He will not be unhappy with that. He's brought the pink into play, and more importantly, the black to the right middle.
There's something we talked about with Breakbird and with Shaun. You know, sometimes you can make your own luck, John, and he probably felt that, okay, he knew that pink and black would be moved into play there, and he would be a little bit unlucky not to have some sort of pot. Okay, the black's gone a lot easier than it perhaps should have done, but I think sometimes when you play an aggressive shot, you deserve a bit of luck. He played that very well. If this black goes in, it could be a frame winner. No, you would expect him to score enough to win the frame at this visit.
Yeah, it's all about making things happen, and he decided that
17.
Just potting the red, and as you say, playing with a bit of check side to go back up for the blue was risky anyway, so why not make certain of the pot and take a chance and try and bring the pink and black into play, which would give him a frame winning opportunity, and that's what he's done.
18.
Yeah, you see, when you're playing the shot like this, you've got no idea exactly where the black's going to end up, but he probably knew that both pink and black would be in play. He probably felt that the white might have even gone up for blue or bought colour as well. So now and again, it's not all about exactly knowing where it's going. It's kind of just putting yourself in with a chance to win the frame at one visit with playing an aggressive shot.
24.
It was a very, very aggressive shot he played, but still not in prime position. I've got to be honest, I mean, these first four frames have been right out of the top drawer.
Yeah, I think both players have made a few mistakes on the safety side of it, but in the main, when they've got in, alright, it's been an odd shot missed. That's just part and parcel of the game, trying to get position, manoeuvre the cue ball. But they both look capable at the moment. There's a safety success, and as I say, that would be the only thing to me that
31.
is a little bit below what's required normally. But when they've got in, they've looked as though they can quite easily win the frame at one visit. Either player. So the first chance, very
32.
important. There you see it, proved in a pot success. 93% to Shaun and 91% to Stephen. Got to be over 90% for me to win a match. I think the only way you don't have to be over 90% is if the other fella's not over 90%. Which, funnily enough, happened last night in the Mark King Jimmy White match.
37.
Both players were just below 90%.
Getting very close to the winning
38.
line now, so he's now 44 in front, the black 51. So just one more red. Blessed with a beautiful cue action, as you can see there. Well, of the two players, Shaun Murphy will certainly enjoy his cup of tea more than Stephen Hendry. Stephen Hendry will
45.
feel, how on earth have I only won 2 frames of these 4 the way I've played?
46.
As John rightly said, though, there have been mistakes, but when they're in the balls, they look like winning the frame at one visit. This is another one visit win.
$53. 54. 61. 61.
Well, what a shame. It was a break of 59 that won him the first frame. He had to watch breaks of 114 and 79 from Hendry, but he's replied with a 61 to level at the interval at 2-all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 5. Shaun Murphy to break.
Yes, thank you, Hazel. Great memories of a great lad, Paul Hunter. And of course, a young man who made, like Stephen Hendry, 6 times winner. Paul Hunter won 3 times the Masters. Who's to say he may not have got up to Stephen's tally of 6. But it's Stephen who'll be trying to make it lucky number 7 this year. But the matter in hand is this tough match he's got now with Shaun Murphy, 2 apiece. But signs before the interval that both players were cueing really well. It's all about who's going to get the chances. Or who's going to get the bit of luck.
1. 7. Eight.
Just a little bit short of pace there. He may have to screw on and off the cushion now to get another one to the extreme left-hand side of the black. He needs to get this cue ball very tight on the cushion if he's going to play for that one. That's what he's played, and that's where he's finished. Good shot.
14. Fifteen.
That green didn't go in the middle of the pocket, so that cue ball needs to slow up.
18.
It may just have done. It just shows you when that green, if that green had gone in the middle of the pocket, it'd have been perfect. But it just went in the left-hand side as we looked, and that just took the cue ball at a different angle. But he's just on the red. And that's the fractions we talk about. Sometimes all dependent on whether the ball you're potting is into the middle of the pocket or the side of it. He's not bad on this ping. I think he may have to play for the red that's just to the right of the black here. And he could never get on it so it'd be a certainty, this red, so he's got a little bit to do with the cue ball here.
5.
This isn't a certainty.
Yeah, the natural angle would be to stun it in, come on and off the cushion, but he may have to go around the back of the red, because if he kisses the red and stays on the black, he's going to play the black very thin. Well, he's not in, is it?
Stephen Hendry.
See that one coming, fancy him to pot that. Maybe a 3-ball plant, that's all he can play. Always looked thin, didn't it, on that picture? And thin it was. Has he found anything else apart from the 3-ball? Probably the 3-ball plant's not quite on, he's going to have to make it. There you can see he's having to hit it very, very thin.
I think you'd be tempted to play it, and even if you don't pot the red, at least you may move it away from the corner pocket. He'll be stunning the cue ball up to the balk end. Chance of potting the red, but as I say, at least he can clear it away from the pocket if it doesn't go in. Well, it has gone in. But he wasn't certain of it, and that's why the cue ball is not really on a colour.
Well, he's actually looking at the potting angle of the green to see whether he can get onto the red to the right of the black, but this green is not easy. Especially at pace. If he just rolls it in, you'd fancy him knocking the green in 10 out of 10, but playing at the pace he is, it's not a 10 out of 10. Good pot though, now has he got the gap? Maybe he feels the top red pots of the pack. And if it does and he's dead straight on it, he couldn't have played that shot better.
4.
That's a very, very good shot.
Five.
Obviously just that little angle off straight, which means he can try and push it through. I think the value is there to try and play the push through. The only thing is the white could finish low. He's screwing back, so he's going to play for alternative choice. We know that the pink's
13.
pot because Stephen Hendry's potted on 3 occasions. Similar scenario, he'd rather play for the red and open play. He doesn't really want to play for the one on the back cushion, because if you're straight on it, you can't get on the colour. So on and off the cushion with a little bit of side. Getting into the cue ball really well. Both players are cueing lovely.
19. $27. $28.
Just a little cannon here, doesn't have to go into them. Now, has that not moved it enough? We'll let you know shortly. I don't think his body language tells us it has moved it enough.
35.
We can probably play it with a trace, John, and pot it.
I'm not certain about that. Obviously the one just to the right of the pink pots, but that's a difficult pot and you won't be certain where the cue ball's going to finish. But after the green he played early on in this break, you don't think he's going to refuse this.
36.
That was the problem. It was a decent enough pot, and you could say he's unlucky really for the pink to go nestling on the blue, but that's end of break.
Roll up to the brown's not a terrible thing here, with the blue and pink being where it is. The only problem is, unless you get the white tight on the cushion, it's very easy to play one cushion. I'd like the cue ball to be tight on the cushion behind the brown, so probably running through the yellow's not a bad choice.
What about rolling up to the pink? The pink had stopped there with the blue being touchy. Although it's probably one of these situations really where you don't really want to snooker your opponent.
Shaun Murphy, 36.
You really wouldn't mind him hitting the reds, because the way they are, I'm just looking down the line and I think there may just be a gap to hit this red. It's mighty thin, isn't it?
Yeah, Stephen thinks there's a gap. Thinks he can see it. He was right. Anything wrong with Mr. Hendry's mince pies?
The old mince pies, eh? Bit of Leicester rhyming slang, is that, Willie?
Very close to the pink, wasn't he?
Well, that was a terrific pot. He certainly potted some good balls in this match and in this frame. That was a cracker.
I think he needs a plant to come to his rescue here, because he doesn't have the angle on the black to be able to get into them.
Yeah, and he's having a close look. Yeah, doesn't look as though he can disturb anything. Oh, can he run round off 2 cushions, or is he going to screw back off 1 cushion and into them? Oh, well, great shot. Terrific shot. As you said a few moments ago, Willie, he's really getting through the ball, isn't he? Hitting it as sweet as a nut. Straighter on this red, I'd have said it's a formality to win the frame. He's just off straight, so he's going to nudge into another red, so he's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball.
Couldn't believe he was trying to screw back.
9.
I mean, the only way he can screw back is he's going to get on the green now. Surely you've got to risk running through it and flicking off the red and trying to get on the black. Can't believe that shot. That's the worst shot he's played today.
Absolutely. Couldn't understand that at all. Okay, may have been concerned that the second red was going to block the pocket for the black, but you take a chance on that, wouldn't you?
But I mean, screwing back, John, there's only the green he can get on. Now, that shot Hawkeye's just played is one we thought he could get.
Yeah, it's certainly a mistake.
Black.
Looks like he's just trying to put the black out of commission now, leave the white on this side cushion. Doesn't want to move the yellow into play.
Shaun Murphy, 9.
I'm not sure about that. He can be sometimes be too careful, can't he?
Yeah, and I think this red that's closest to the cue ball will go into the right middle. Now, okay, he might not be able to get a colour off it, but he's only 20 points behind, so if he can pop the red in the right middle, then he could play safe and bring the yellow into play. Couple of strange shots there from Shaun Murphy. He's tried to play it in such a way there, Stephen, he could get position on the pink into the far corner. I think I'd just contented myself there with just making certain of that red. That puts him 21 points in front. So he's going to need the 2 remaining reds. That's because the blue, pink and black are not available. He's going to have to take small valued colours. A little bit further down the table would have been better. Quick glance at the scoreboard, 24 points to lead. As I say, 2 reds, 2 colours it looks like at the moment. If he doesn't play blue, pink and black, which is highly unlikely. Well, he's just looking to see if the pink will pass the blue. Well, he's really finished on nothing here. I think it'll just be nominate the blue and play a snooker here, is it? No, he's going to take the green on. I don't know. There's a certain snooker behind the blue, should he want it, but he thinks if he pots the green, gets on the red, it's frame over, which it will be. Oh, no danger, the green not going in, right in the heart of the pocket. He's in a very confident mood. Just needs the red, which is an advantage because he's closer to the cushion than he would have liked. This red to go 29 points in front with only 27 remaining.
Green. Maybe a bit of value here in playing to pot the green because he'd like to leave blue and pink where they are. I'll decide on just to play the green out of play as well, and obviously only 1 snooker required. Stephen Hendry is going to carry on, as you would expect. Very rare does he carry on when he needs more than, say, 2 snookers. He's just about his limit. He'll sometimes carry on then, but if it's ever 3 or above, you couldn't get him out of his chair with a £20 note in your hand.
2. Stephen Hendry, 2.
Clever shot from Shaun. It's quite a big target, blue, pink and brown at the moment for snookers.
hit it, but the whole problem is not hitting it. Can you get it safe? And he's not done that, and Stephen will be thinking that's the end of this frame. And it certainly is now. So, a frame that both players had chances early on. But it's Shaun Murphy won the first frame and been playing catch up since then, but he'll have his nose in front once again.
12.
I still think there's plenty of snooker left in this match. Just playing an exhibition shot there, didn't really matter.
Shaun Murphy.
Stephen
12.
won't be getting out of his seat, so Stephen Hendry resigns himself to the fact that he's gone one frame behind. Shaun Murphy leads by 3 frames to 2. High quality, Willie.
Very high quality, but there was a talking point we mentioned in commentary when Shaun Murphy was in the balls, and we were saying, why is he playing to screw back? Now, it looks like there, John, he can run through, just flick off the red, on and off the cushion, and be on the black. Now, playing the screw back, you know, this is what I'm suggesting he should play. Now, you were suggesting that red come and cover the black, but, you know, you couldn't miss the red, so why not risk it?
Definitely worth the chance, and the way the shot he played, I mean, it needed a lot more pace than this.
I think he actually got a bad contact, to be honest, off the second red, but even so, even if you go up for the green or brown, it's, you know, it's a tough shot to be able to play. But, you know, he's not played many bad shots, but that was one of them, but it didn't cost him, he won the frame.
Well, that's the thing at the end of the day. If you play a shot or you make a mistake, as long as you win the frame, you can put it out of your mind. It's the ones that where you make that mistake and then it costs you, that can really wear away at your confidence. So nothing to worry about. He'll have forgotten about that.
And rumour has it that Stephen Hendry is playing with a new cue. He's one of those people that wouldn't let anybody know that he's playing with a new cue. He'd like to, you know, because that would be a talking point in commentary. But if it is a new cue, there's nothing wrong with it, because apart from his long game, it's as good as I've seen him play for a while. Not the greatest of break-offs, to be honest. Whenever a player can get his hand on the table, especially somebody that pots like Shaun, you don't particularly want to be leaving than this. Now, is he going to play the cannon? Is he going to play the pot red and move the 2 reds away from the black? That's what he's just looked at. You've got to be cueing well to play these. Changed his mind.
Well, there's not much on the table at the moment that he's not going to knock in if you leave it in mid-distance, and that was a little bit longer than that. So let's have a look at his percentage long pot. There you see, 100%. That's 10 out of 10.
When you've got the class of players that we've got on show today, John, I think if you've got a long pot success rate at 100%, it's going to be tough to beat you, isn't it?
4. Your safety play is going to have to be very good, isn't it? Just trying to dislodge the black here and play it beautifully. He's in good touch and he looks very confident around the table. This is the thing that's impressed me most of all today about Shaun. He looks confident about the table, and he's coming to the table as though he's in command of the situation.
12. We talked off mic, John, didn't we, early on in the match about trying to find an Achilles heel, and it's sometimes when he plays a player outside, say, the top 8 or 10 players in the world, he probably doesn't give them enough respect, and very rarely do you see Shaun Murphy winning a match 6-1 or 6-0 or things like that. But when he plays one of the top players, he really gets up for the game.
It certainly seems to sharpen his mind, doesn't it? That looked like a terrible contact, that. But I think he's okay. It could have been better. But as soon as it made a contact with the black, it was very heavy and threw the cue ball a lot wider than he expected. But I think he's still on this red to the left middle.
he may be able to put the one at the back of the bunch, and if he plays the one at the back of the bunch, he's going to have to career through all the reds, and he will have to rely on good fortune if that happens. So where the cue ball's going to finish, but he's taking the one in the middle. He's hampered.
Made certain of the red and didn't try to do too much with the cue ball.
Yellow.
Well, there's another long pot he's taking on here. 10 out of 10 so far. I suppose you could still call this a long pot. Well, he's probably never cued as good as this since he won the World Championship. But there's still a match on here.
23.
Hendry's playing very good in the balls, but just needs to get in them. He's got no option but to play the cannon here. He can't play a nudge into the reds. He'd like to screw the drawn directly above the black, but he may be too thin to do that. Not guaranteed to get on one here. Couldn't have played it better. Needs a bit of good fortune, and he may have not had it. He plays that shot as good as Ronnie O'Sullivan. That's still up into the pack. A lot of players, I don't know why, they watch these top players play. They screw into that pack, and that's a horrible pack to screw into. You've got to stun into them, as Shaun did there. If you screw into them, you can lose the white. Playing the stun into it, it's similar to the shot from blue into the pink when you're splitting the reds up. You need the white to stay in open play. Very, very good recovery. Well, John, you can't play better than this at the moment.
No, and that went right in the heart of the pocket. Look at this. Never touched the side, never looked like touching the side. And this is the thing we always say about snooker. As you say, Stephen Hendry's looking very good when he gets in amongst the balls. But when you sat in your seat, as Stephen is, there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter how good you're playing.
Now, see, Jan brought into play here. He's been almost inconspicuous today, which is the art of a top-class referee. This is the first bit of work he's had to do, John, in the match so far.
Yeah, the classic for a referee should be heard and not seen. Such has been the standard, he's not really been required. Well, apart from keeping the score and taking the balls out of the pocket. We're into the sixth frame and is already at 96%, and the only reason Hendry's pot success is 89 is because of his long game. If he'd been knocking the long ones in, it'd have been 92 or 93. You know, Hendry's missed one in every two, and as you can see there, Shaun's not missed any. So Stephen Hendry, you could almost feel sorry for him at the moment, because he's got a man playing at the top of his game.
$52. 53.
Now the next red isn't obvious unless he played for the red on the left hand side of the table, so maybe a little cannon here. Oh, and it's worked out perfectly. He could not, if he'd have picked it up with his hand,
58.
he couldn't have placed it better than this. But when you play as well as Shaun is at the moment, you deserve every bit of run of the ball you get.
And Stephen Hendry sitting there, of course, he's done this to many opponents on hundreds and hundreds of occasions. You know, he's had runs of 5 and 6 centuries on the trot, hasn't he, in matches?
You think he's thinking about that at the moment, then?
Not at all, John. He's got the right Forest at the minute, I promise you.
The Forest Gump, another bit of Leicester rhyming slang.
$65. 66.
Well, I know it's not going to be a massive break, but this has been played as good as you could play a break. Been on every ball he's played every cannon perfectly. We're blessed at the moment, John. I've said it a few times in commentary and in the press that we've got 8 or 9 players at least at the moment. I mean, it always used to be Hendry and a few others, Steve Davis and a few others. We've now got 10 or 11 players that are capable of playing this standard at any time. About time we played a bad shot. It was getting boring, wasn't it? That?
81.
Yes, cut this in the green pocket, just smash it in. Oh, he's playing off the cushion to pot it. Looks straightforward for a magician. How have you missed that? Fabulous break from Shaun Murphy. It really was. It was top draw that. Stephen Hendry did precious little wrong. Shaun Murphy gets in the balls, makes another break above 50, 81 this time. He leads by 4 frames to 2.
Thank you. Frame 7. Shaun Murphy to break.
I think that was a good choice, Hazel, to stop singing. I mean, you're sounding like Barry White, unfortunately you're not singing like him. But there's some great ones there. That was really funny, some of those were very good. Good pop from Hendry as we come back to live play.
So this is the test now for Stephen. Couldn't have a ball to pot in the last frame, and this is where you've just got to get back to the table after being frozen out and get that cue arm going again.
Seven.
That seemed to bounce a little bit more off the top cushion than he would have liked, but shouldn't cause a problem.
$12. 15.
He'd like to finish slightly low on this red so he can push through this red at the outside of the pack and just bring another couple into play.
22.
Doesn't matter if he's straight, but he'd like to be on it 3/4 ball. You see he's got that angle to push through. Well, could have played a little bit harder than that, to be honest, and try and bring another red out.
Yeah, there's one loose red, but I think you play a cannon here. This time you've got to play this with a lot of bottom and get that cue ball arcing into the reds here. And how's your luck? Is he on the red to the right middle? May not be. I'm having a look at his body language. Well, knowing Stephen as I do, I think he's just about on it.
Wait. 31.
As you see, he could just get through, and he's played it nicely. Left himself a nice angle on the blue.
$36.
This is an excellent performance from Stephen Hendry. I know we look at the stats for the
37.
whole match, but I would think in the last 3 frames, Shaun Murphy's probably got a 100% pot success rate, the 3 frames he's won. He just hasn't missed a ball. And there's every chance here it could be 4-3 in a minute. What do you have to do to beat Stephen Hendry?
A little bit straighter on this red, you felt would have been better, but may be able to pot it, and maybe the pink's available. Well, no, he was
43.
just had enough angle. Now, nice position here, just a little cannon off the black. Just into that gap there. Well, decided to play onto the 1 red, but either way, he always knew he was going to be onto a red in the right corner, and they've split nicely. And you expect him to win the frame now at this visit. And as you say, Willie, what a high standard of snooker we've got here.
$51. $57. $58.
These have come off a decent break-off for Shaun. The only thing that Shaun did wrong with his break-off, he didn't find the ball cushion. And the thing is, as you know, when you're breaking off, you should have a little bit of advantage, but you've got to find the top cushion. Shaun didn't, and this is the result.
Tough school.
Absolutely. John.
65.
And
66.
with this black looking to be a formality, took us 73 points in front with only 67 left on the table. What a reply from the Scots. Superb. Absolutely superb.
Well, obviously, eventually there's going to be a loser of this match, and he's going to be driving or flying to wherever and thinking, well, how on earth have I lost this match?
74.
Both players hitting the ball really nicely.
$81.
Well, a chance of a second century now for Stephen here. He won't need that awkward red that's on the left hand side cushion, as long as he takes high value colours, which you know Stephen will, because he'll be looking for that
88.
ton.
89.
Exhibition type shot that, played out on the right hand side to check it off the 2 cushions. So he's feeling good about himself. He's cueing well. We've heard the rumour that this is a different cue to the one he used in the
96.
last tournament. So he's obviously been putting a bit of practice in with it, and he likes the feel of it at the moment. So the black for another century.
7-4-2. 7-4-2 it is.
104. And the frame, Stephen Hendry.
Well, superb. We thought Shaun Murphy was playing well. Get a load of that. Stephen Hendry pulls one back and now just one behind at 4-3.
Because players, John, are playing at this standard, I mean, every shot becomes important, and what we saw there was Shaun Murphy's break-off that, okay, normally, when you're only about a foot away from the cushion, maybe 6 inches away from the cushion, you would think that's a good break. Today, it's not. You've got to hide every ball. And Stephen Hendry's break-off every time today has left a long red on. This time, Shaun Murphy's left the long red on. This is the situation that Stephen's faced with. You can see from that angle there's plenty of room to go around the back of the black, John, to make it a shot to nothing.
Yes, absolutely, and it's all about fine lines, fine margins, and eventually Stephen took it on and he slotted it in, and of course the difference is the way he played it confidently. He didn't play to get that cue ball near the baulk cushion.
Thank you, trainee.
He played to leave himself on blue or baulk colour, and that was the end of the frame, simple as that.
Yeah, prime example of what some people call them shot to nothings, but that's a shot to something. He's played it as a shot to nothing, but at a pace where, if it does go in, he's got a chance to, with his hand on the table. A lot of players play that white into baulk now on a shot to nothing. See, another break-off. I mean, the break-offs have been really poor today. The only good thing for Stephen is not the black off the spot, and that's the angle the cue ball will take. He'll do well to miss the kiss on the black if he takes this long one on. From my position, I can't see how he can miss the black. This is dangerous for me. Couldn't see how he could miss the kiss on the black. He's been very, very fortunate there.
Yeah, that's called pushing the boat out. And as you say, he was a little bit fortunate there because he could have hit that black a little bit fuller. And if he had done, that cue ball wouldn't have gone as far back up the table as it did. But this red is on. Just trying to force him. Didn't cue that as smooth as he has cued most of the balls today. Disappointed though, you can see it on his face. Disappointed to have missed that. Just the pace really that kept it out. Not happy.
That's an excellent safety shot. Now, depending on whether this red is dead straight down the table, is whether Stephen Hendry takes it on. If it's straight, he can't. If he's got an angle, he may be forced into taking it on because the safety is not easy. Just about. Well, I don't know, it's too risky to play the run through from where the white is.
Well, I was thinking he could just get past the green to just hit that red very thin, almost a guide to get it back, but he doesn't want a chance leaving a long pot on, so he's playing or trying to play a containing safety. It wasn't that easy to do, and that cue ball needed to run on just a fraction more to the top cushion. Now that red closest to the white, will it tempt Shaun?
I think if you can get the white virtually on the line of the red to the left of the blue, John, i.e. play for brown or green, but make sure that you don't cannon into the red. I think it's worth the risk. Stephen Hendry doing a little bit of ballet dancing there, wasn't he? Just trying to make sure that it travelled far enough. It didn't travel the distance he required, but too risky, John, this?
Well, I think if he's if you're going to play, I agree with you. I think he could stun up to the left-hand side of the table, and the only red he could possibly leave is the one he's playing. I think it would be worth a chance, but Shaun doesn't think so. Obviously, when you're down at the table, you see things in a completely different light. But that's not the best safety shot. Maybe not left anything, but he could be in trouble next time he comes to the table.
He's done that 3 occasions today when he's playing a red in and out of baulk, caught the baulk colours. And he's not good. because, as John just mentioned, he's going to be in trouble after this next shot. He's going to have to be faced with a very difficult safety.
Good shot. Very well played. Bit thick. That's why the cue ball and the red have come back up together, and the red's now left on to the right middle, and that was brought about. It was a good safety shot from Shaun Murphy, and he forced the mistake from Stephen. Now, how costly will that poor safety shot be for Stephen?
Well, looking where the black and pink are, maybe play this at pace into the bunch. You'd be unlucky not to be on pink or green. That's what he's played. He's going to be unlucky not to be on pink or green. Is he on the green?
What?
We'll let you know shortly.
Yeah, he's just about on the green. It's a thinnish cut. He won't have a lot of control over the cue ball, but look at the way he spread the reds. Got another positive shot. Maybe thought he could have run through the reds and maybe finished on the black, but as I say, he can pop the green, and maybe not that thin that he can't control the cue ball. Natural path is to come back amongst the reds. Now, kiss on the blue. No, he's just run past it.
4.
Just gone slightly awkward. Only reason I say that, I think he'd like to have played the red to the left middle, but it's quite a bridge over the reds and the pink.
And he could just drop this in and get on the black, but I think then he'll tie the black up. If he's going to play this, the cannon on the red on the black spot is not a bad choice. He'd be unlucky not to push through that red a little bit, not to be on the black nicely. If he just drops on the cushion, the black's going to be out of commission. Looking at an alternative, don't blame him. Blue or bought colour. This is one of those situations where the balls look great, but they're not necessarily in a position to win the frame at this visit, with both black and pink spot being covered. He's got to work quite hard to make this into a chance to win the frame at this visit, but once he clears the black spot area, it will be a chance. He's tried to get on that red now, and that is top draw. That is very good. That's given him a chance. If he's on it and can hold for the black, it's given him a chance to win the frame, but I don't know what kind of angle he's got on this red on the black spot at the moment. Well, he looks like he's better on the other one. As you can clearly see, he is better on the other one, and he's reluctant to play the black. He's looking whether the black would go on its own spot or not. I'd rather play the one on the black spot, John, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult. I think he's also looking to see if he plays the one that's straight into the right corner, he could play for the pink, but where does the pink go when it's respotted? So he's playing the straightish red. I presume he's playing for the pink.
10.
It's very, very tough this now, because if the pink goes out of commission as well, he's all of a sudden in trouble. I think he should have took the risk there and played the one on the black spot. I know it was a lot more difficult. He'd have had to play it very slow to get on the black, but he may have just put himself in a position where he's not guaranteed now to score enough to put Stephen Hendry in trouble in this frame.
Second one, please, Shaun.
Ganva House just asking for a second. I don't think there's a ball will go on the black spot. So the pink will have to go as close to its own spot as it possibly can, in a direct line with the middle of the top cushion, and as you can clearly see, it's now going to be completely out of commission.
And that's why we were suggesting getting rid of the one on the black spot before. These, both pink and black now, would have been in
16.
play, and in one and a half shots, they're both out of play.
Yeah, it's funny though, isn't it? I mean, it was so tempting to play the straight red, wasn't it? Because it was unmissable. Whereas if it had taken the slightly riskier shot, this is what Hawkeye had played. And I think that's the shot you'd have played as well, Willie.
Absolutely, because it keeps everything in open play. I mean, Shaun, I think the only reason I think he spotted the pink, he thought the black spot was free and the pink would have gone on the black spot. That's the only reason I think he could have possibly thought of playing the shot the way he did. I mean, he might still go on to win the frame, but he's got it to do, hasn't he? Unless he's got the angle on the blue to go straight into the red and pink now, which he has. Now that's the shot to play, gently.
Gently Bentley.
See, it's funny that he's now played for the one on the black spot probably, and it's the same scenario now. It's unless you can get straight on the black,
22.
it's no good. But he's still in control. While he's got his cue in his hand, he's at the table. He's still in control, but he's got it all to do from here. So top side of the blue, and it was straight as the red on the black spot, and then he can retrieve the situation by getting the black back into play.
But anything that's just half difficult, or you'd normally say is missable, you're just slotting them in, no problem. And that's a great advantage to have. And he's in good potting form today, there's no doubt about that.
He's overcooked that one. He played for the one on the black spot.
34.
Until he gets that red, John, it's not a frame-winning chance, is it?
No, I think it's just at the moment now, he's just thinking now, if I can put 3 or 4 more reds with colours, I should have enough points to win the frame. It's not going to be as straightforward as he would have liked, because he needs to get the right side of the blue. And, well, he's a little bit short of pace there. Kyle tells the angle, well, just enough, just to be able to force that cue ball down for the reds. Have to stun it across with pace. Not bad, but not great, this. Because he's got the red to the left corner, but he's got a few other reds to avoid to get position back up for blue or bought colour. It's getting harder.
No, this is really tough, actually, to avoid the cannon here. Might have to play in between the 2 reds off 2 cushions. That's what he's played. That's what he's got. Now, is he
41.
eventually going to get on this red on the black spot? Because that's what's causing the problems. This has been hard work, this 41. Just can't get on it properly, can he?
45.
Still not out of the woods yet.
$46.
Well, he just about got a choice of yellow or brown. He's got a 46-point lead. There's a possible 75 left on the table. There you see it, 50 points ahead now. 2 reds,
50.
2 colours. Will be frame over, but it's not that straightforward. I know what you're going to
Would you want
say.
to play for the black here? I wouldn't want to play for it.
Not really. I think he'll have to.
Yeah, did I say that? Is it because even if you
51.
dead straight on the black and pot it, you've then got a really tricky red to get on the black again, which you'll need. And if you miss it, there's still enough on to win.
Now he's stopped. This red to go 59 points in front with 59 left on the table, so he
58.
needs a red and a colour, and if he's straight on this red, it's going to be very difficult to get on the black.
I think you should make sure of the red, to be honest, whatever happens. Oh, that's very well played. This has been an awesome break, it really has. He knows himself, he played it the wrong way round earlier on. His jaw dropped when the pink didn't go onto the black spot, which he thought it would, but to make 59 from where the balls were without using pink and black has been top draw. This is as good a break as has been in the match, and there's been 2 centuries.
66. $67.
Yeah, I think the key to it has been his potting. Every time he's had a bit of a problem, he's pulled out a good pot. And it's been a terrific break. And as you said at one time during it, Willie, as long as you've got your cue in your hand and your hand on the table, you can win
74.
any frame. And this is an
75.
example of that. He deserves a century. Should have made one in the last frame. Or the frame before, sorry. It was Stephen whose turn to
82.
make the century in the last one. Standard of snooker has been of an extraordinary high level.
Undoubtedly the best match of the tournament so far.
Thanks.
He's got the perfect
83.
angle on the black now. The only thing that can go wrong here is snookers himself behind the pink, because that's what he's going to do, play plain ball. Needs to hit the pink 3/4 ball or thinner. Full ball is no good. And 3/4 ball or thinner he's got. Well played. He's been a pro a lot shorter time obviously than Stephen Hendry, but he's already made 155 centuries. To think that he's going to have to catch it with Stephen is going to take him probably 8 or 9 years. Well, this is as good as a century break if we get one that I've seen.
97. $99.
Stephen Hendry has played fabulous. Apart from his long game, that's the only thing that's missing from Stephen Hendry. And he's 5-3 behind. Superb play. Top draw. 3rd century of this fantastic match.
$106.
Well, what a shame. A little exhibition shot to try and finish, but the 3rd century of this match, Stephen Hendry's made 2, Shaun Murphy's made 1, but the time he made it there was very important. He leads 5-3.
Thank you, frame 9. Shaun Murphy to bit.
Not the best break-off shot, that from Shaun. Caught the end red much too thick, but looking at Stephen's body language, I don't think he can get through to the red that's adjacent to the right centre pocket. So there's a little bit of pressure on this safety shot. There's pressure on every shot at the moment, the standard that's being played. He doesn't want to kiss the brown here, Stephen, if he can avoid it. But he has, and this red is on. Either a cut or into this corner.
It's 11 out of 11 so far long pots, John. This is a bit twitchy, this one.
Well, in goes another one. Superb exhibition of cueing this by Shaun Murphy. And look at that once again. Never looked like touching the jaw of the pocket. Can't have your potting iron much better than this.
Six. Seven.
Well, he's okay. Didn't really hit that as well as
12.
he would have liked. I think he wanted a little bit more bottom. That was one where we say the stun, although looking at that cue ball after hitting the blue, it seemed to bounce in the air. It seemed to take all the life out of the cue ball.
This is absolutely full, hasn't he? Just didn't get any reaction at all. But he's got choice of two reds, both of which are not easy. But he's already in a position where, you know, he can score 40 or 50 points, and this could be the frame to win the match, of course. Who knows? He might win it at one visit.
13.
Well, from what we've seen before, I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Of course, the one difference now, the winning line's in sight. And we always say that frame to get over the winning line is the hardest one to win. So we'll see how he reacts to it.
Just didn't get on this red perfect, but he gets on the black nicely.
19.
This is the key shot for me. I don't necessarily suggest he goes into them here because the black's off its spot, but if he did go into them, he's bound to be on choice of two reds. But I think it's a bit risky to go into them here.
Yeah, and the reason Willie says that, when it's just off its spot, low as it is, there's not as much of an open pocket to aim at, and that's why they can be missed. And that's why they can be missed. When it's on its spot, there's a lot more of the opening of the pocket to go at. With it being low, there wasn't as much, and maybe he just pushed the boat out a little bit too much. But you can't blame him. He must be full of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, people will be saying, well, there's two loose reds. You know, I don't blame him for playing it. I wouldn't blame him for not playing it. It was one of those. He's feeling so good at the minute that he feels he's going to pot everything. There's the white. No good. Now, this is a test.
This is a test. There's pressure on this one. This will test his temperament and his cue action, because he must feel if he misses this, he'll lose the match. Superb. Absolutely superb. And we've never expected anything less of Stephen Hendry.
6.
Look at the way he floated that in, and it never touched the side. He'd love to get the black down back at this end of the table, and that's what he's played for, but he doesn't want to finish straight. And already, before the cue ball even stopped rolling, he knew he hadn't played it well. I'm disappointed with that. Don't blame him playing for the black, but needed an angle.
Yeah, plenty of room, didn't he? He obviously played to go on and off the cushion, and as John mentioned, as soon as he hit it, he knew He's going to have to get loads of side on this. Makes the black missable, amazingly enough, if he plays with loads of side. Let's watch the side now. Has he got it on? But not enough. I don't think this red cuts from there.
14.
Well, commentator's eye, John. I don't think it cuts from there.
Well, my commentator's eye is looking at Stephen shaking his head, so I would say he wouldn't cut from there.
The big break days, John. Commentator's eye. You used to get one right in about 4 or 5, didn't you?
Yeah, well, he used to be right 1 in 50, Willie. It was better than that. I'll be playing it now into the left corner. He's playing the pot, I think. Wasn't easy.
Stephen Hendry,
Played
14.
it in such a way that he felt the only red he could leave was the one he was playing, but it was the positional shot on the black that's causing him to still shake his head, not this one. That was a tough shot.
Yeah, this is the one that John mentioned. He got so much room for error there. What he wanted to do is bounce it on and off the cushion. He knew straight away that he's anted it hard enough. Or perhaps didn't get enough side on. That's probably what he played a bit more side. Oh, you're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. What a shot. Fabulous shot. Well, I mentioned earlier on, whoever goes on to lose this match, and it could possibly be Stephen Hendry, he's going to be driving home thinking, well, I have lost
8.
this match playing as well as I have. That's not happened very often in his career.
Nine.
Well, this could be the key. Now he's got a nice angle on this black, just to stun into this cluster of 6 below the pink. If these break nice, and they broke pretty well, so this is his chance for Shaun Murphy to clinch frame and match at this visit.
Is he straight enough, John? Can he just roll it in? If he can't roll it in, he might not finish close enough to the black. Or he's used the other red.
17.
The kiss on the red that's nearest the pink spot is on 2 reds. If this goes in, it's good night.
$24. Shaun Murphy, 24.
Well, we were saying about that frame to take you over the winning line. It wasn't that so much to me, it was the cannon he missed. I don't know how he missed the cannon the way he'd been playing. So there's still hope here for Stephen Hendry. Just for the first time, we spotted a little bit of weakness there with Shaun Murphy.
Yeah, it's the right shot to play the cannon, but you've got to float it in and just play a normal little soft stun. He played it really hard.
Yeah, a little bit of tension in the arm maybe.
The red on the left-hand side is obviously the key ball for Shaun Murphy supporters here. Whether Stephen Hendry is going to win the frame at this visit, it's going to all be on that red on the left-hand side.
$16. $17.
It'll be interesting to see where the pink goes after it's spotted. I assume it doesn't affect the red in the middle of the table. Well, it did for the corner pocket, so that's why Stephen played for it into the left middle.
23.
Unbelievable. Shaun Murphy in the balls, just got to play one good positional shot and the match was over. And the match
24.
is now back on again. This was the shot, you just played into it, the middle of those reds, got into it as you say, played it too hard, didn't get the cannon.
Well, this is the key shot, John, isn't it? If he gets on this with a half-ball angle on the black to move the other red, this is all about fractions now. Well, only he's got to pot the red, he's got to get the angle on the black to move
31.
the other red into play, and he's played it to the inch.
Yes, I think when you play this type of shot at this angle, you want to come off the cushion first rather than hit the red first. Not too hard, don't want to knock the red too far away. Cushion first. Oh, and he just didn't catch it full enough.
38.
I don't think the double is the shot to play here.
But it's Stephen Hendry playing.
You've got to play the safety here. Put that red behind the black.
Stephen Hendry, 38.
Well, he didn't get the red behind the black, but he's got the cue ball behind the yellow. And we've got a new favourite for the frame. I didn't think I'd be saying that a few moments ago. The natural way you would come is off the left-hand side cushion, but the green's in the way, and that's what's making this difficult. If he's coming this way, is he trying to go in between the... Wow, he's coming off three cushions. It'll slide off the last one, but it's a good hit. Well played. Well played.
Yes, the audience were unsure whether he'd hit it there.
Yeah.
It just glanced it, didn't it?
Yep. Just rubbed against it. Maybe a gap. There is a gap, you see it.
Well, this is the key shot, isn't it? Whoever plays the first good safety shot, whoever pots the red, becomes favourite for the frame. So it's all about this red.
Probably trying to play that so the red ran into the black and held it in the middle of the table, but it didn't. So if Stephen can knock this in and get on a colour, he'll win a frame, I'm certain. But he never thought he was going to. And the red's never touched the side now. Is he on the colour? He'd like to be on the green. And I think he may be on the green. Or does the yellow pot? Got down very quick there. But he's now just using his experience, got back up again, thought about it. Because he wasn't absolutely perfect on the green. He was thinking about screwing back and playing for the yellow in the same pocket. Oh, what a turnaround, because I'm certain a few moments ago, well, 3 or 4 minutes ago, Stephen Hendry was in his seat thinking he'd lost the match.
6.
And all he needs now is the green and brown. What
9.
a turnaround. Could this frame be the catalyst to a change of fortune for Stephen Hendry? I don't know. It's a difficult one to work out. Shaun Murphy, he hasn't really played a bad shot apart from playing a poor positional shot. I'm sure he thought he was across the winning line when he was in amongst the balls.
80.
And every credit to Stephen. He's not weakened. Doesn't matter about the pink. He's reduced his arrears to just one frame. Shaun Murphy's still one frame away from victory, but now it's 5-4. Well, both players are leaving the arena. I don't blame them after a frame like that. When they return, so will Willie and I with commentary.
Yeah. Yeah. God help me. Can you hear me? Well done. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 10, Stephen Hendry to break.
Well, undoubtedly the best match of this year's 2010 PokerStars.com Masters at Wembley is still in play. A few moments ago we thought it wouldn't be. Shaun Murphy had a great chance to win frame and match, and one loose positional shot. He thought he'd probably get another chance. He didn't. But once again, the break-offs have been very poor from both players. This is potable.
Yeah, just a fraction too thick, and that's what stopped that cue ball finishing on the baulk cushion. I mean, this isn't an easy pot, and he's going to have to play it with pace to stun the cue ball around the angles, but the way they're potting, well, maybe this game's going to get a little bit harder now for Shaun, because he knows, or may feel, that he should have been back in the, well, in the media centre giving the winner's speech now.
And all of a sudden, John, just a little bit more pacey. He's played the last couple of long pots he's missed, and he's only missed a couple. Both of which have been played very hard. Now, Stephen's not played that very well. Because of the angle he's got on the pink, he may not be able to hold for the reds at this end of the table. The one on the extreme right-hand side of the bunch is probably the one he's going to play for. And he's lost the cue ball. You see, that wasn't particularly the bad shot. It was the red to get on the pink was the poor one.
7. Stephen Hendry, 7.
Well, that was a poor shot from Stephen. That really was, and you can see the disappointment on his face. I mean, he wasn't that far away from the red, and only to reach the baulk line was very disappointing. And he's left this red onto the right corner, a red he shouldn't have left, and stay to the match. Not one you can afford to leave. But all of a sudden, they're not going in. They are not going in anymore. It's funny how this game of snooker can turn round. In 1 minute he never looked as though he could miss anything mid-distance. I've got to be honest with you, Willie. I'm finding it hard to find a winner here now.
Yeah, I must admit it has certainly changed around, hasn't it? I couldn't see a way back for Stephen Hendry halfway through the previous frame. If it goes 5-5, the way the last two frames have gone, you would have to suggest that Stephen Hendry becomes favourite. Shaun's missed, 2 or 3 long pots in the last couple of games.
4.
And it's the type of match, the way Shaun's played, if he was to lose it, it'd be a real setback, wouldn't it? Because he's done nothing wrong prior. Stephen trying to force
5.
that cue ball through, and well, we'd be lucky to be able to hit any colour here at the moment.
Blue ball. Stephen Hendry, 5.
Got to be a little careful if he plays a thin safety so it doesn't come into the red on the way back. And he's played it half full to make sure that wouldn't happen. It's a good safety shot. Good weight. Both players have played excellent safety shots in the last 2 or 3 visits. In behind the blue is what Stephen will be playing here, so he's got to be a little careful here because if he hits it thick, could catch the jaws of the right hand corner. Oh, he's played it really, really thin. And down that side of the table is it every safety shot thin. There's a bit of room now to get in behind the blue if he wants to. Swing it around 2, play with 3 cushions. Now how's the weight? Pretty good.
Once again, a little bit too thin. suppose the only advantage is he's knocked the black out of commission, and the way the reds are situated, it's not going to be easy to make a sizable break. But this red is definitely on. He can pot it, but even then he may run into another red, and I don't know at the moment. I wouldn't think these long pots are looking as inviting as they were early on in the match for Shaun.
Yeah, you fancied knocking everyone in early, didn't you? I'm not so sure now. Forced him to play in the blue now. That red's gone up into the baulk area.
Blue ball.
Yeah, it worked to his advantage, didn't it? Into that second red, full in the face, knocked it near the baulk cushion, so he had little to do with the cue ball. After potting the blue.
Seven.
Took a risk there trying to play off 3 cushions for the blue. Could any one of the baulk colours, it would have been perfect to get on the 3 reds below the pink. That's the 3 reds he's going to play for, but with the rest, a lot of distance to travel with the cue ball. Well, he couldn't have played this better. That's an excellent shot.
Nine.
Could be one of those games, and another 4 reds, 4 pinks here, put him 20 odd, 30 odd in front, and then it's who wins the next safety exchange. So this frame is really live still at the moment, whatever happens.
10.
Don't really want this match to end, actually. It's been so good. Bit of everything. Bit of twitching went on in the last frame and a half, but just a few long pots missed by both players now. Apart from that, it's been absolutely top draw.
$23. 24.
Well, the next 2 reds should be okay, but then how did he get on anything else? When I say they should be okay, the next red's tough now. Could have missed the baulk colours twice, on the way down and on the way back.
Yeah, I suppose there is the red near the black spot to play on, but I think he's just looking. That could be a key red, because if he could pot that red, I'm not saying he'd play for it off this one, but if he could pot that, he could bring the black into play. Oh, he's overhit this. So even the red that's near the black spot is not an easy pot now.
Doesn't sound a lot, does it? 24-point lead with 6 reds left, but as long as you don't leave anything easy, should you miss, that 24-point lead is quite... It's equivalent to probably 40 or 50-point lead with reds in open play. So that's why I can't understand for the life of me why I went for that.
36.
If Stephen just gets 20 from here, you know, it would have been so hard to do it apart from that.
Yeah, he's calling kick, he's calling heavy contact, and you can see it did bounce slightly on impact. So we're giving the benefit of the doubt, but you know how good Stephen is in the break building, and if he could find a way to bring that black and those reds into play near the side cushion as soon as possible, you know he's going to do it.
1.
And you mentioned, John, you circled the red a minute ago. He's just looking at it now. If he gets on that red three-quarter ball, which he's looking at now, he brings black and all 3 reds into play in one hit.
Key shot coming up.
So
The one thing you've got to do, you wouldn't do it intentionally, but don't miss the red. And there you go, in the red goes.
8.
Black's into play. He had to play it with that amount of pace to release the cue ball.
He's a little bit unlucky there, Stephen. Couldn't have played it better. The reason I say that, there's plenty of distance for the cue ball to travel here to get onto the next red.
It's not
10.
bad, but this red is no certainty. You've got to cue this really well. And did. Oh, and tried to bring the red away from the cushion.
11.
That's how confidently he played it. And was a little unlucky. But it wasn't an easy pot, William, didn't he play it well?
Fabulous effort.
Well, this match, as you said earlier,
14.
had everything. It's had great potting, great breaks, and now it's getting to the nitty-gritty. It's all about who's going to handle the tension. And there's never been many better than Stephen Hendry.
Thank you. Stephen Hendry, 14.
Well, Shaun's 10 points in front, 2 reds and 2 colours. He's going to need all 3 reds, so Stephen may get one more chance, but he's missed 3 or 4 balls with the rest in that pocket, John.
Yeah, it was just one of those. It was just straight enough where he had to play it with a little bit more pace than he would have liked, trying to force the cue ball on and off the cushion. And as we always say, the more pace, then the more accurate you have to be. And that rest success for Stephen is quite low at 40%. It caught him out there. Well, it cost him the match.
1.
I'm just wondering whether Shaun's trying to leave the black where it is to make that red a little bit easier down the cushion, should he need it in the end. Depends what colours he plays to whether that's going to play a big part in this frame. Oh, he's got into that too much. That's no good. Oh, he's had a result. Boy, he's had a result. There's no way in the world he's played round the back
6.
of that red. He completely butchered the blue and got away with it.
And he put his hand up and apologised to Stephen Hendry. He's lucky he didn't catch that red and knock it safe. That's what Stephen thinks of it.
That was the look into the commentary box, because he knew we'd have spotted that bit of good fortune. But it's still not over. It's all about that last red, isn't it, down the cushion?
Well, that's it. And you know, I was just saying, we've had everything. Great potting, great break building. Now it's all about who can hold the nerve. But luck always seems to play a part in any ball game. Luck has that little role to play.
It's only tension, John, isn't it? Because the blue, it's just a straightforward shot. You wouldn't even dream of hitting it that bad. But the tension, you hold the cue a little bit tighter, you get into the cue ball more.
But didn't he do that in the last frame when he missed a straightforward cannon?
The cannon, he played it too hard, absolutely.
So just in this moments of tension, he just hits the ball a little bit harder than he would like. That's no good. Okay, he can pot the black easy enough,
7.
but he isn't going to get on the red. He's not going to be able to disturb the red from where that cue ball's finished.
It's a strange game, isn't it? Now, should he lose the frame, Stephen Hendry would definitely be favourite in the last.
Well, it's all about now just potting the black and then playing a safety shot. With all the colours, they'll all be on the spots. And although Shaun may be 24 points in front, whoever pots the red would become favourite.
14.
Will he play the double? Will he play the double? No, he's played the snooker and he's not got it.
Murphy.
There's a gap
14.
there. I'm sure there's a gap for Stephen to get through. Not saying he can pot the red, but he'll be happy just to see it.
Oh, we've got both the referee and Stephen in the way at the minute. Hawkeye can tell as well. He can see it full ball. Surely he's not going to take the pot on.
Can he cut it in the middle? Well, he thought he could. Where's the brown going? Is it a free ball? If it isn't, it doesn't make any difference to the situation. It's not a free ball.
Apart from Stephen's going to have to play the next shot.
Well, he's not left the red. That was the most important thing.
Well, it's not worth the cross double here. Okay, you get a good white and you'd be unlucky to stick the red. I mean, I'd rather put my opponent in to play the cross double here. You'd be happy with that safety shot if you played it yourself, so why not put your opponent back in again? So keep an eye on the red, that's the important thing here. Well, see, he knew the cross double would be very close, but now he's played the shot, he couldn't have played it better. Well played. I'd have been tempted to put my opponent back in there.
Yeah, but he's not got the snooker. Stephen can get past the blue, but of course he needs to get it safe. His opponent just needs the red for victory. Is the brown going to come to his rescue? It all depends on, does this brown stop the line to the pot? Stephen's having a close look. I didn't like his reaction. You can swerve and pot this red, and it's only the red that's required.
Well, I fancy the swerve, John. I can also see the line of the cue ball going very close to the in-off on the right-hand middle as well, because he's going to have to play with that side, isn't he, to swerve it?
Just shows you about fractions. As that cue ball were on a fraction more, this would not have been on. The red needed, but watch the right middle, as you say, Willie. Watch the right middle pocket. Watch the right middle pocket.
Well, I'm not the best judge in the world, John, but I'm in the top 3. That's unbelievable, isn't it, what can happen? That is unbelievable what can happen. I could see it happening.
Two.
And now Stephen Hendry needs these 5 remaining colours to take us into a decider. Oh, well, would you believe it? Of all the people, you would
Stephen
not
Hendry
have
too.
expected to do that. It was Stephen Hendry. My word.
Well, I've never seen him cue a ball that bad. His hand move, his backhand move, he pushed into it. I must admit though, that wasn't easy. That was definitely missable, that green, but Stephen Hendry's green was unmissable.
Well, I think there may just be an edge of the green sticking out. Well, Stephen can't believe the green he missed before.
The lip readers would know that was the word twitch there. Did you see that, John? When he was
Yep. I think it was there to be seen. I don't think it's enough for this green to pot it. Oh, he's just on the way back. Where's the cue ball going? Where's it going? Well,
You do get excited, John, don't you?
too thin. And he's left frame ball chance to Shaun Murphy. Shaun Murphy's played very well in this match, and you wouldn't begrudge him winning it, but he's been through the ringer the last couple of frames. He'd be mighty relieved if he could knock this in now. And then it goes. Stephen Hendry needs a snooker.
3.
Well, they became a new favourite on a couple of times in this latter part of this match, but as John mentioned a few moments ago, the way that Murphy's played, he probably just about deserves the victory. Great match. And barring snookers then, it'll be Shaun Murphy who wins a classic. Well, the pot wasn't played, and he played a snooker, but he'd rather it go in than stick in the jaws. Just one snooker needed. This is half a chance, 2 cushions in behind the black. It's a good line. Boy, it's a good line.
Stephen Hendry, 4.
This is a fantastic shot, by the way.
Unbelievable shot from Stephen. Not renowned for his snookering of power, but he's got one here, and there's a room around this blue. There is definitely room around it. There you see, 21 ahead Shaun Murphy. If he misses the blue though, he'll only be 16 ahead with 18 remaining.
1 cushion or 2, John?
Well, I don't think you can play the 2 because I think the middle pocket's in the way. I'd like to play 2, but I think the middle pocket's in the way, and that's why I think there's room to miss this blue. I think it's a 1 cushion escape, and that makes it more difficult.
Well, playing the swerve, he's playing 2 cushions, but I can only presume he's playing 2 now he's playing the swerve. Alright, John would think you're guaranteed knowing the line off 1 cushion. If you start playing a swerve, you've got to rely on how the cushions are going to slide. He's played 2 cushions, he's gone around the back.
Foul.
Now, if you're going to play 2 cushions, you're going to play a little bit pacier than that, not to leave the pot on. Does he go for this?
Match back on. Stephen having a look at the potting angle now for the blue. Blue, pink and black to take us into a decider. I think he's going for this blue. He'll have to do a lot with the cue ball.
And this is not an easy safety shot. I mean, ideally, you push it on one of the side cushions, but you leave the white in open play here. I'm just thinking whether you can play cushion first. Try and leave the white where the blue is, and just hope, you know, you don't knock the blue over the top right-hand corner. I think cushion first is just about the value.
Well, I said earlier, we have great skill in this game. We've had great potting, we've had great building, but luck has reared its ugly head once more. What a fluke that was.
Well, that's sport the match for me. It really has. It's
Shaun
just been
Murphy, 5.
such a classic game. And Stephen Hendry has offered his hand in congratulations to Shaun Murphy. That was a classic match for a lot of the audience standing up there because that's what it deserved. Two players playing virtually at their best. Stephen Hendry is still at 4th, but Shaun Murphy is the one that goes through and he wins the match by 6 frames to 4.